doing? Come on. I'm Joe Cacace. Welcome to our kitchen.
Lui non parlamma, ma ci capimma, e coro nostro sanno tutta verità. Se ci sperdimma, noi ci trovamma, perché più forte desiderio ci incontrà. E ci legimmo tinta all'occhio bene, si bocca se volessero passare.
Get back to our garlic chopping because that's going to be your main ingredient for your marinara sauce. As you know, marinara means sailor. Years ago, when sailors wanted a quick meal, well, we know if there's nothing to boil in some spaghetti or linguine, but how should we flavor the sauce? Well, they would just chop up the garlic, and while the macaroni was boiling to the, whether you wanted them al dente or more well done, you would just put a can of your crushed tomatoes into about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and as soon as the garlic gets blonde, by the time the spaghetti is cooked, your sauce is cooked, because marinara sauce is not too, it's a sauce that's not cooked too long, maybe 15-20 minutes, and it'll give you a very good flavor. There we go. Here is our pan. Excuse me. It came out of view then, I know, but we have to, I'd measure this size skillet, as long as the bottom of the pan has covered, that's about 3 tablespoons. And put all this garlic in there. And we go to our stove. Tell you what, I'll get my tomatoes ready. For tomatoes, I use usually a can of the whole tomatoes in puree, and we make sure they're all chopped up. I just squeeze them. I can feel that they're thoroughly squeezed, although you can buy the crushed tomatoes too, but this is what I happen to have now. And combined with that crushed tomato, I use a can of the puree. So that combination gives you about the right texture for marinara sauce. I also use the same combination for when I make pizzas. You don't want a sauce that's too watery, but we want to taste the tomatoes on the pizza. And of course we have to add salt to the tomatoes. Not too much as our doctor tells us, but that should be enough there. So we have our tomatoes, our garlic that's going to be frying, and then I'll tell you the other secret ingredients that go into it. Well, now we're ready to show you the rest of the ingredients that go into making up the marinara sauce. As I said, we have about 3 tablespoons of oil and plenty of garlic, and I'll just put this on our burner and continue with the various ingredients that go to make up the marinara sauce. As I said, we have the tomatoes. I have our salt and pepper, which has already been added to the tomatoes, and we'll add some oregano flavor, not too much. Some people put too much oregano in it, and it dominates the flavor of marinara sauce. I like the garlic to be the dominant flavor. And once that garlic is blonde, not too cooked, then I'll put all those ingredients into the pan, into the frying pan. And we'll leave it simmering on the stove for about 15 minutes, as I said. And then we'll go back also to our meatballs, because it's set enough, and we'll be able to shape the meatballs into whatever size we would like. Let's see how that garlic is doing. Yeah, it's simmering very nice. The reason for this impromptu arrangement is that it's easier to show you the demonstration at this point rather than at the stove. Sizzling away, take a few more minutes. Now what I have in here, although this is a container for breadcrumbs, what I have in here are basil leaves that were grown in our garden. And over the winter, it's surprising what good use you can make of these. And what I usually do is I just crush them in my hand. See, I'm putting them into the tomatoes now. And that is a delicious flavor. It doesn't take over the #1 place of fresh basil, but when it comes to dried basil, it's nothing like the homegrown that you're able to crush. Now, you just don't place the leaves in there. You have to crush it so that the true aroma is in there. As I said previously, this same tomato will be used on pizza. And if there's time, maybe I'll show you how I make a pizza. How would you like that? Okay, I think that garlic is already... Do you hear it sizzling? Like garlic. Here we go. Doesn't that look beautiful? But it's hot. You have to be careful when you pour it into the oil because it could splatter. And I know it's going to splatter now, but we'll do it by using a pot cover to protect the rest of the room. Here we go. 1, there it goes. Listen to it sizzle. 2, 3. This is about a can and a half, because I'm going to use some for if there's time to make a pizza. There we go. And with our spoon here, just stir it around. And as I said, we will add some oregano. Not too much, enough to give it the flavor, but not to dominate it. And a little more pepper, a little more salt, and even a little more garlic powder. Now what did I leave out? I left out the one ingredient that many people do not include. You know what that is? That's a little sugar. That's the flavor that we like. It takes out that extra acidy tomato flavor. So let's get some sugar and we'll be on our way. Well, this is about a tablespoon of sugar and a little bit more. Usually the result is one that is enjoyed, and the comment has been made by various guests, why don't you bottle it, Joe? If Paul Newman can do it, why can't you? Because there's a lot involved when you want to market a product. So you know what goes into it. If you want to do it, you have my permission to go ahead and market it. Back to the stove. We'll leave it there to simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes, and that will be ready to add on to our boiled linguine, which I prefer. You may like spaghetti or the fat macaroni. Linguine is what's to be used with linguine alla marinara. Okay, now back to the meatballs. We're going to roll them and then see how many we can get out of that amount of meat that we used. Well, here we are. We have our finished product of the marinara sauce. And it looks like it's just at the point where you want to pour it over your linguine and enjoy it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have a taste of it for all of you, and then we'll know for sure. Hold on now. Watch out for that hot oil now. It's just perfect. It always comes out the same for me. Come on, let's get this over with and enjoy it on our linguine. Oh, wait a minute. The meatballs have to be shaped. That's our next move.
Perché sono nato a Napola e si capisce senza parlare.